Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and ohio, everybody. What is going on? It is Galeriot here, and welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi video. And today we have potentially our first teaser for volume 20 of the main series light novels. Yes, Omori has started writing the main series once again, of course, after having a full year of just writing novel after novel after novel last year. He decided to take a bit of a break. Of course, for the last year, we've heard nothing from him in terms of a new light novel or anything of that sort. In fact, I think the only things he's been working on has been, of course, the Don Crow stuff, of course, with the wedding event and, of course, the anniversary event, and, of course, Danmachi Full of Water and Light. But it turns out that he has started working on the at least early chapters of volume 20. Now, of course, we'll talk about when it might release and everything. We'll take a look at the chapter titles as well. But before all of that, remember that this video will contain spoilers for volume 19 primarily, and of course a little bit of volume 16 to 18 as well. So if you guys don't want to get spoiled and you're an anime only, save this video, maybe watch it on mute as well potentially, and of course do all of that sort of jazz, basically whatever you can to support me. But of course, make sure you guys don't listen in on this video because I don't want you guys getting spoiled, of course, right? Of course, beyond that, if you guys go on to enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel for more content, and let me know your guys' thoughts on the volume 20 teasers and stuff like that. What do you expect from volume 20 as well? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, I do apologize if my throat sounds a little bit rough. I don't know why. It's just gotten a bit rough after the stream that I just did on the channel, so I do apologize on that front first and foremost. But let's get into it. Let's talk about volume 20. I'm very excited to get into it, of course, and I cannot wait to see what Omori has in store for us. Now, first things first, I have to go back way back in time. Now, Omori has a lot of tweets. This man does not stop tweeting, man. I swear down. So, obviously, there's one here, of course, right? So, we'll open this up first and foremost as well. But I want to go over and take a look at something even older than this. Now, initially, way back when, I think this was around the time we got the first trailer for Danmachi Full of Water and Light. So, we have to go back a little bit more in time to, of course, the trailer, I think, for Danmachi Full of Water and Light, which we'll have to scroll for a little bit. We got a page effectively with a prologue title called Hero's Awakening. Now I'll show that prologue title to you guys in just a moment. But initially, because of the timing of the tweet being dropped and everything, a lot of us, including most of my friends and people I've been talking to, they thought that it was supposed to be something with Danmachi Full of Water and Light. And initially, based on, the title itself, I thought the same as well. I generally thought the same. I thought that it was going to be something related to Danmachi Full of Water and Light. It didn't really make much sense for it to be anything else at the time. So I was like, you know what? It makes sense, right? It makes sense that this is for Danmachi Full of Water and Light. It can't be anything else necessarily. However, it turns out we may have jumped the gun a little bit there, and we may have expected it to be Full of Water and Light a little bit too soon. To be honest, I will say this, I generally thought that we wouldn't get volume 20 until mid to late 2025, and to be fair, based on his progress at the moment, I think we're still on track for that. Technically, I think we're still on track for that, if I'm not mistaken. It should be somewhere here, I hope. It should be somewhere here. Hopefully we see it soonish. Where is this guy's post, man? This guy he retweets too much, he tweets too much, and he has too many things going on. It's honestly annoying. So this is it. Okay, bro, this guy tweets too much. Omori, you gotta chill, man. You gotta chill. But this was the page that we'd gotten, and I initially thought it was gonna be volume. I thought it was gonna be with Full of Water and Light. And like I said, that this is a page that says Prologue: A Hero's Awakening. Now, it is quite interesting as to why this title is a thing. Now, of course, if you've been familiar with volume 19, you've read through volume 19, right? You already know, well, I say Hero's Awakening, I just read it, it's Hero's Afterglow. Now, the reason why I say this is I'm not sure what this is exactly referring to, because of course in volume 19, right, we're at the end of the school district section, of course, where Bell has gone through the entire school curriculum, not the entire curriculum, but he's gone through a bit of the curriculum. He's met, of course, the students itself. He's gotten a better idea of everything outside of Horario a little bit more as well. So I don't get the whole point of it being a Hero's Afterglow prologue chapter. Now, this could also be a good reference to potentially the other level 7 that exists, right? And of course, we discovered is most likely, at least it's not been fully confirmed, but it's most likely Leon Vandenberg. I think it's Vandenberg. Now, it's not been officially confirmed in the light novels that he is the level 7, but we can infer based on everything that we know so far, and of course Hermes hinting towards there being a level 7 on the school district and everything, that it is most likely Leon. It is very much like 90% Leon is the level 7, right? And so I think this might be in relation to him more so than anything else. So we'll have to wait and see, of course, if that is right or wrong, of course, right? But today or I say today, yesterday, we got another page. Of course, we got our man over here asking Danmachi Volume 20, please, I'm going crazy. And a lot of you guys have been the same as well in the comment section. A lot of you guys have been asking for Volume 20, and I've been saying 2025. That's my expectation. And I genuinely think right now, since he's only on effectively chapter 2, if I'm not mistaken, this is chapter 2, I don't think we're gonna get volume 20 till mid to late 2025. Generally don't think so. And that is of course in Japanese. In English, it'll probably be even later. So keep that in mind. But this chapter is called Lion and Sword Princess. Now, you might be thinking, Lion, Ryu Leon, that probably means Ryu, right? Ryu versus Eyes. I don't think so necessarily. Now, first and foremost, I don't think there's a particular, well, actually there is a reason why Ryu would probably go up against Eyes, first and foremost because of course of Belle's affections and stuff, right? Makes sense in that sense, I suppose. But I think more so than that, again, I think it comes back to Leon more so, because Leon, Leo, Lion, you get where I'm going, right? And I think it's more so supposed to be there, because if it was actually Ryu, why wouldn't it have been Gale and the Sword Princess? And I don't mean me, I mean Gale as in Ryu Gale. I think it would make much more sense if it was Gale and Sword Princess, not Lion and Sword Princess. So in my opinion, I think this is more so Eyes going up against Leon more so than anything else, or probably interacting or learning more about potentially the One-Eyed Black Dragon. Again, we don't know exactly the obviously context of this, but this is my assumption, my predictions based on the chapter titles we've gotten so far. And the other thing I want to point out as well is that this is the first time, I think, since the Xenoses in technically, I'm gonna say why I don't really count the Xenoses, and I'm gonna go back even further and say this is probably since volume 8 is the first time we've seen Eyes in the main series fully, properly dedicated and in the story properly, and that is a very good sign. So a lot of people would say, well, technically in volume 17, Belle, Eyes, they were thinking of each other very heavily so and stuff, and that was the only reason why technically Belle got out of his funk technically and stuff, right? And I could agree with you guys to an extent there, that is true, but I feel like there was still that, lack thereof of presence, if you know what I mean. It's a hard way to describe it, but it still felt like, Eyes was definitely secondary in that situation. Same thing even before then. With the Xenoses, she was primarily like a sort of antagonist to Belle, kind of. Not fully, of course, we know that technically they weren't really antagonists, but Belle was standing against Eyes and Eyes was standing against Belle, with the whole, Xenos faction effectively being the reason as to why they were going up against each other. But then before then, in terms of an actual presence in Belle's life and actually giving knowledge, building up their relationship a little bit more and stuff, it was probably volume 8, of course, with the whole situation with Belle and Hestia and Eyes getting lost in the village and stuff like that. We did have a moment as well in volume 15 technically at the end, but I'd say it's very minor as well. I would say that the first full proper time was volume 8, the last time we had something with Eyes, in my opinion. And I know a lot of people on Twitter are complaining about JC staff being the reason why Eyes is doing so bad in the anime. No, it's because that's how Omori has written Eyes so far. It's been a bit of a, I wouldn't say it's a mess, it just feels strung out for no reason, is the best way to put it. Realistically, I think you're right. I think that's the best way to put it. It's just been strung out for too long, and I think it's a good time now, finally, to get back into the groove of things and make Eyes the actual endgame girl that she was supposed to be since the very first episode and very first light novel, the very first paragraph even of the light, well, actually I don't know about that one, but very first pages of the light novels, right? So it's good to see her back, it's good to see her being a presence, and it's good to see her obviously being integrated into the main series again properly, and hopefully we get to see her arc coming soon after this as well, because I still think we're in the school district arc, and I think we're going to get into a position where we will probably see Belle and Eyes both actually discovering more outside of Orario stuff. I think now is the time for them to do this. I think Omori is making the right decision by doing this, because the One-Eyed Black Dragon is not in the dungeon. Keep in mind, I've said this in the volume 19 discussion video as well, but I'll say it again. One-Eyed Black Dragon is not in Orario. He's not in the dungeon. He is outside, locked away basically, and sealed up at the moment. But the seal is going to break at some point. 100% that's going to happen. It's pretty obvious that that's going to be the case, and we're going to see our heroes taking him on. But the only way to do that is for them to also learn more about the outside of Orario and figure out everything, map the geography, the location, what are we dealing with, what kind of monsters are we going up against. Potentially they'll go to Dragon Valley even, where obviously the One-Eyed Black Dragon and his spawns are, fight some of them, learn a little bit more, and of course train up. I think effectively the next 7-8 chapters, because at the end of the day, right now we're done with the majority of the antagonists, you know, from Evilus to Freya to Apollo, what the in-house opponents, shall we say, the people inside of Orario. I feel like a majority of the evil that is present in Danmachi has gone away. Now it's all about the monsters. It's all about that last great quest that the guild, Hermes, Zeus and Hera, every single one of these people have been afraid of, scared of, and are wanting to inevitably get it done and dusted with, you know. And I think, you know, a lot of people will say, you know, they're not ready, they're so far away, you know, these guys are so low leveled and stuff. But you have to remember there's going to be a big training arc coming up, and again, with if they can train against each other, you know, simulate war experiences potentially. We've seen how much it's helped a lot of characters in the familiar war games with Freya. I think also them going deeper into the dungeon, potentially getting into the lower and lower floors, because we know that Finn was able to gain access to more information about the lower floors thanks to Royman effectively negotiating him out of the out of the Freya familiar war games, basically, right? And so it is going to be very interesting to see where we go from here in terms of the story. But I think they're going to get a lot of training. I think we're going to see at least a level on every single individual. Of course, Belle, probably 2-3 levels maybe. Eyes, I think at least a level or 2 maybe as well. But everybody else is going to get a level easily. I expect to see potentially like the highest level familiars go, or highest level members going in at like level 8s and 7s consistently throughout. And obviously with Haruhime existing, and if potentially, again, this is a big point to be had as well. I know a lot of people will say like it's not possible for Haruhime, Mikoto, and Lily and Welf to get that much levels. Of course, Welf and Mikoto are probably likely to get another level potentially, because they didn't get a level up from the Freya Family War game, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think Lily and Haruhime were the primary ones to get that level, of course, right? Or even before then, technically, right before the Family War games, they got the level boost. So it is very unlikely that they might get a level boost, but I still think that just because of what's coming up and everything, and you know, the threat of the One-Eyed Black Dragon, I think there's a very good chance that we get another level on everybody. Somehow, someway, Omori's gonna pull out some plot armor bullshit, and it's gonna happen. I think that's gonna happen. I think it's pretty obvious, and this is me assuming it's a 1-year deal. I think it's very likely to happen. And so I think from this point onwards, you know, using Leon, and I'm coming back to volume 20. I know I kind of went on a tangent there as well, but bringing in characters like Leon, bringing in the outside of Verario, bringing in the whole school district and the knowledge that comes with it. And of course, incorporating Ice into the main series now, having the Freya Familia at effectively their beck and call at any given time. They're not going to be a bit, what's the word here? They're not going to be a bit erratic unnecessarily, because Freya is now not erratic. I think we're going to be in a good position to now start getting into the training stuff and whatnot. I think the next 4 or 5 volumes are going to literally be all about that, pretty much. I think we're going to get to Bell Astraeus as well, inevitably. I think that's going to happen way before the One-Eyed Black Dragon. Astraeus and the Xenoses will obviously participate in the set fight as well. It's going to be an all-out war, and I think it's going to be a hefty amount of individuals going up against the One-Eyed Black Dragon. It's going to be a couple of people. I think the key individuals, and I'm going to include some spoilers from volume 14 of Sword Oratoria here, so bear with me. If you don't want to get spoiled, click off the video here, but I'm going to include Sword Oratoria spoilers here as well from the volume 14 stuff. We're going to see Otaro, level 7, Leon, level 7, Riveria, Finn, Gareth, level 7, Eyes, level 6, Bell, level 5, Ryu, level 6, Bet, level 6, Tione, level 6, and so on and so forth. I don't think all of them are going to get to level 7, no doubt, right? And I don't know how many of them are going to get to level 8. I think Leon, Otarl have to get to level 8. Bell probably will get to level 8. Let's be real with his progress and stuff. He's been getting a level nearly every month pretty much, right? Eyes, I think, has a small chance of getting to level 8 as well, to be quite honest. The other Loki family members, I'm not sure if they'll get to level 7. It'll be very hard to see. I don't see Finn, Riveria, and Gareth getting to level 8, so I don't know if the others will get to level 7 either. The Freya family members, I could see some of them potentially getting level 7. It's unlikely, but I think it's possible. Specifically, Alan, I think, might get level 7. I'm not sure about that. But then if you have Haruhime in there, and potentially, let's say, hypothetically again, if she gets to level 3, right, her boosts are going to be going off the rails. So again, we'll have to wait and see on that front. But yeah, I'm quite curious to see where you guys are, what you guys are thinking about this one. Again, I kind of, went on a tangent a little bit with the ending of Danmachi instead of talking about volume 20, but I kind of had to divert there because obviously with volume 20 right now we have very little information, the 2 chapter titles, right? But I also expect it to be just a continuation of volume 19, but more so about incorporating Ice into the main series for one, and also two, getting to know more about Leon and the outside of Aurario and stuff like that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, all that sort of good stuff, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Take it easy, everybody. Bye bye.